Imagine waking up one morning with heightened senses, crystal clear focus, and a mind brimming with creative ideas. Now imagine maintaining this state day after day, without the jitters of caffeine or the crash that follows most stimulants. For Hollywood's elite, this isn't imagination, it's reportedly their reality. In the competitive, high-pressure world of entertainment, where creativity isn't just valued, but essential for survival, an underground revolution is quietly transforming how some of the most successful minds approach their craft. While you reach for your morning coffee, some of the biggest names in Hollywood are reaching for something far more controversial: microdoses of psilocybin mushrooms. You've likely heard the whispers, from A-list actors to acclaimed directors, from Silicon Valley tech visionaries to music industry legends. The secret practice of microdosing has penetrated the upper echelons of fame and fortune. But what exactly is drawing these cultural icons to such a controversial practice? And more importantly, what might they know that you don't what you can? Microdosing isn't about tripping or losing touch with reality. It's the careful, calculated consumption of psychedelics at sub-perceptual levels, amounts so tiny they don't cause hallucinations but reportedly enhance mental function in subtle yet profound ways. Think of it as fine-tuning your brain's radio frequency, clearing the static without changing the channel entirely. The typical protocol involves taking roughly 1/10 of a recreational dose, often following cycles of several days on, several days off. Users describe enhanced pattern recognition, deeper emotional connections, and bursts of creative insight that feel organic rather than forced. It's like someone turned up the volume on life, one anonymous Hollywood writer confided. The colors are a bit more vibrant, conversations more meaningful, and creative blocks seem to dissolve without effort. The list of public figures who've openly discussed their psychedelic experiences continues to grow. Comedian Joe Rogan regularly examines psychedelics on his massively popular podcast, crediting them with perspective shifts that enhanced his comedy, commentary, and overall outlook on life. Seth Rogen, the actor, writer, director known for his creative versatility, has casually referenced mushrooms as part of his artistic toolkit, suggesting they've helped him break through creative roadblocks that once seemed insurmountable. Meanwhile, behind the closed doors of Silicon Valley mansions, tech moguls reportedly attribute some of their most innovative breakthroughs to the subtle cognitive enhancements of psilocybin. Steve Jobs famously declared that taking LSD was one of the most important things he did in his life, a statement that's inspired a new generation of entrepreneurs to explore consciousness-altering substances. Even Gwyneth Paltrow's wellness empire Goop has delved into the world of psychedelics, bringing these once underground practices into mainstream wellness conversations. When billion-dollar brands start discussing psychedelics alongside yoga and green juice, something significant is clearly shifting in our cultural landscape. And then there's Elon Musk, whose cryptic references to expanding consciousness have led many to speculate about his possible psychedelic explorations. In an industry obsessed with thinking different, psychedelics offer a shortcut to the kind of outside-the-box thinking that transforms industries. You might wonder, is this just another celebrity indulgence? Or is there legitimate science supporting these practices? The research, while still in early stages, offers intriguing possibilities. A groundbreaking 2019 study published in the Journal of Psychopharmacology tracked regular microdosers and found significant self-reported improvements in creativity, openness, and emotional balance. Participants described solving problems with greater ease and approaching challenges with newfound flexibility. Scientists at Imperial College London discovered something even more fascinating. Microdosing appeared to enhance divergent thinking, the ability to generate multiple solutions to a single problem, without diminishing convergent thinking, or the ability to identify the single best solution. This rare combination could explain why so many creative professionals find microdosing so valuable for their work. Perhaps most promising are the studies emerging from Johns Hopkins University, where researchers have identified potential therapeutic applications for psilocybin in treating anxiety and depression. Even at low doses, psilocybin appears to increase neuroplasticity, essentially teaching old brains new tricks by forming novel neural connections. One researcher described it as hitting the reset button on a brain that's stuck in negative thought patterns. But before you start envying celebrities' access to this seemingly magical cognitive enhancer, consider the shadows lurking behind the glowing anecdotes. Dr. Matthew Johnson, a professor at Johns Hopkins, who has studied psychedelics extensively, cautions that we're still in the infancy of understanding microdosing's long-term effects. We have promising early data, he explains, but virtually no information about what happens when someone microdoses regularly for months or years. The human brain is delicately balanced, with serotonin playing crucial roles in everything from mood regulation to sleep patterns. Repeatedly introducing chemicals that affect these systems, even in small amounts, might have consequences we haven't yet identified. Then there's the practical challenge of dosage control. Unlike pharmaceuticals manufactured under strict conditions, mushrooms grown in different environments contain varying levels of psilocybin. What feels like a microdose one day might edge into perceptual territory the next, potentially triggering anxiety or disorientation at the most inopportune moments. Imagine preparing for a critical audition or business meeting only to find yourself unexpectedly battling subtle visual distortions or emotional intensity. For celebrities whose careers depend on consistent performance, this unpredictability represents a genuine risk. Yet for many stars, these risks pale in comparison to the potential rewards. In an industry where creative breakthroughs can mean the difference between relevance and obscurity, many celebrities consider microdosing worth the gamble. Actress Kristen Bell has openly discussed her experiences with depression and her exploration of alternative treatments, including controlled exposure to psychedelics. Author and podcaster Tim Ferriss has become one of microdosing's most vocal proponents, detailing how it helped him navigate periods of debilitating anxiety and enhanced his cognitive performance. The right dose of psilocybin doesn't make you see dragons, one anonymous director shared. It helps you see your own thoughts from new angles. That's invaluable when you're trying to tell stories that resonate with millions of people. But it's not just about performance enhancement. For many celebrities battling the isolation and pressure of fame, microdosing represents a potential lifeline. Jim Carrey has spoken candidly about how psychedelic experiences transformed his perspective on depression, helping him find meaning during his darkest periods. Hollywood's microdosing scene operates with surprising sophistication. Sources describe networks of trusted suppliers who provide precisely measured capsules, often disguised as ordinary supplements or brain-boosting nootropics. These discreet packages arrive via private delivery, their contents invisible to the security teams and household staff surrounding major celebrities. What was once an exclusive club is gradually expanding as knowledge spreads through whispered recommendations at industry parties and private wellness retreats. It's the open secret no one discusses publicly, explained one industry insider. Everyone knows someone who microdoses, but few discuss it beyond trusted circles. This expansion raises profound ethical questions. As celebrities, with their access to top medical professionals and wellness experts, normalize psychedelic use, what message does this send to the general public? Are we witnessing the birth of a beneficial wellness revolution, or the glamorization of substances with unknown long-term effects? Medical professionals urge caution amid the growing enthusiasm. Dr. Anna Lemke of Stanford University warns that the appealing narrative of harmless cognitive enhancement might blind users to subtle risks. Even without classic addiction patterns, regular microdosing could theoretically create psychological dependence, the feeling that one cannot perform optimally without the substance. The brain adapts to whatever inputs it regularly receives, explains Lemke. If you're consistently introducing external substances to achieve certain mental states, your brain's natural ability to reach those states might gradually diminish. There's also concern about how celebrity culture, which often normalizes extreme behaviors, might unintentionally promote risky experimentation. When beloved actors or musicians casually mention microdosing in interviews, they rarely discuss the extensive research and medical consultations that preceded their personal experiments. As scientific interest in psychedelics grows, pharmaceutical companies are racing to harness the benefits of substances like psilocybin while eliminating risks and unpredictability. Clinics specializing in psychedelic-assisted therapy are opening in cities where certain substances have been decriminalized, offering supervised experiences with trained professionals. Meanwhile, legalization movements are gaining momentum across the United States, with several cities already decriminalizing psilocybin mushrooms and more considering similar measures. What began as a counterculture movement is steadily entering the mainstream, raising profound questions about how we define medicine, wellness, and cognitive enhancement. Will we soon see psilocybin-derived medications prescribed alongside conventional antidepressants? Will microdosing protocols become as common as morning meditation routines? The answers remain uncertain, but the trajectory points toward increasing acceptance and accessibility. As this fascinating trend unfolds, we're all left with a profoundly personal question. If given legal access to microdosing, would you take that step? Would you trade the familiar comfort of your morning espresso for the uncertain promise of enhanced creativity and emotional resilience? Would you risk potential long-term consequences for immediate cognitive benefits? And does the knowledge that successful creative people are embracing this practice make it more tempting? Perhaps the most important question isn't about celebrities at all, but about our own relationship with consciousness. What does it mean that so many brilliant minds feel the need to chemically alter their perceptions to navigate our modern world? Is microdosing addressing a fundamental human need that our regular lives somehow fail to fulfill? As Hollywood continues its quiet love affair with psilocybin, these questions linger in the space between scientific inquiry and cultural revolution. The answers may reshape not just how we view psychedelics, but how we understand creativity, mental health, and the remarkable potential of the human mind. So, what do you think? Brilliance in a capsule or unnecessary risk? Would you microdose if given the opportunity? Or is this one Hollywood trend better left to the stars? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The conversation is just beginning.